we have a vision for what supply chain looks like by 2035. And a lot of this comes from what is happening in the dynamics inside of supply chain. And it all drives to why we have to band together as an industry to be able to actually solve this problem. And so when we look at the different dynamics, point number one is really around the topic that we don't have enough skilled labor employees to fill what the open jobs that we have. There will be a gap in the number of available humans to be able to come into my organization. And all of you know, this is a very technical supply chain, right? With the refrigeration changes that recently happened, you can't hire someone yesterday outside of the industry and expect them to come in and actually be a meaningful contributor to your team. So that's what we call the knowledge gap that exists inside of your organization. And you'll see it in a lot of different areas show up at the counter, right? If there's a new project, what's the right specification on it? As far as speccing out new jobs, knowledge gaps. And one of them obviously is warranty. The amount of knowledge and tribal knowledge inside the entire industry is exacerbated. And so when we look at this, AI is the perfect opportunity to be able to actually go solve this. And it's not about how do we reduce your headcount today, it's how do you build the infrastructure inside of your organization so that you can scale and you can grow profitably without needing to add the same headcount. And then so we focus on this problem because our mission statement when I founded this business was a seamlessly connected supply chain. That's what we do, that's what we build. Imagine the unthinkable. That's how we do it, right? So every employee that comes into our business, within the first week, they go through a culture meeting with me. Every single employee that's come in has gone through it. And one of the is aligning to our culture and our vision of what are we building and where is the market going in the supply chain. So a seamlessly connected supply chain, that's what we do. Imagine the unthinkable, that's how we do it. So when we talk about the supply chain, this is the problem that we focus on. We only focus on reverse logistics and connecting the multi-tier supply chain so we could solve the end user problem together. Why do our customers invest in that? Well, one, because the customer experience impact, right? And there's a meaningful experience that you talk to contractors. We actually have done multiple NPS surveys to contractors, and warranties consistently at the bottom of what they rate distribution and manufacturing companies on. They're like, well, hey, look, it's easy to get a product, but when I have a problem and it's a mess, they need this information. The information they need is changing. And I get why we need to do that because we all have to adhere to whatever policies we have, but how do you solve that as an industry? So you have a customer experience problem. Number two, you have a P&L impact problem. Distributors not paying an invoice, contractor not paying an invoice, right? Missing vendor credits up and down the supply chain, not being able to tie up and close financials at the end of the month because you're in some sort of dispute down the supply chain. So that's meaningful. And then number three is you're tying up your most precious asset, your human capital, in something that no one ever wants to do, right? It is a zero value activity, and you put some of your most valuable asset, your human capital, at this problem. And so that's the reason that our customers invest in something like this, to be able to help solve all three of these. So what we built is actually accumulation of different agents. And it's funny, if you look at our platform, you probably wouldn't even know the AI because you're not seeing an agent just like chatting with you, right? These agents are basically different workers at different steps of what is happening in the process, right? So we think about the customer hub. That's your customer side. So your customers self-initiating warranty claims, self-initiating returns. A warranty claim from Bobby Joe, who's a cash customer, probably isn't as valuable or as important as your largest customer, right? So how do you prioritize those? Then you get into business logic. If you're a manufacturer in here, a different product line will have different warranty data on it. Like this is their 5-year. Did they buy an extended warranty? Do we auto approve these? Do we need the product back? Right? All of your internal business logic. Then from there, depending on the solution set, the agent can actually identify, do we need to go engage the vendor or not? If you're a distributor and it's a warranty claim, the answer to that every time is yes. And so internally, we actually have a database of a whole bunch of different manufacturers and what are their available replacement parts. And that scales. A couple months ago, we had 200, and now we're over 650, and it continues to grow every single day. So step one is, how do we actually know what are the available replacement parts? What's the supersede data on that? Then from there, and this is how it shows up into the platform. We'll actually get into what that looks like. So you can actually, contractors on this mobile phone can actually see what is the bill of material for this model number or serial number. Then from there, we look at AI agents around how do you actually go file these claims and get approvals with these manufacturers. If you look at the actual architecture of the AI agent, which you'll get into, and we'll show you an example of us having had built an agent live. So we'll actually go through a video. The user inputs some data. We have an orchestration layer. Then it identifies, what do I need to do with this data that was input? Then the AI can actually go execute. So for example, a manufacturer changes their warranty claim form. Well, your agent had never seen that before. So you need to have self-healing in that process so that it can say, actually, this manufacturer now needs this for this product line in this situation. And so that's where the self-healing shows up, so that the agents can actually learn from what's changing and happening. So this is actually code. So what's happening is, this is an agent that we built. We literally just took the screen grab. I said, hey, here's how you file a warranty claim for this manufacturer. So what it's doing here is the agent took that video, and then that agent is going to saying, okay, I need to learn from that. So it wrote a whole bunch of different code to say, here's how we can automate this warranty claim based off that video that I just saw. But that video is like a 10-second video clip of like someone had put a warranty claim in. It doesn't show all the scenarios, doesn't show if this happens, then you do that. So how does an agent learn on this? So in this scenario, the agent's trying to get to the website, and this is like a real self-healing process. So you're watching the agent, it fails. It actually timed out. If you notice, it couldn't find how to log in to go file this claim. So it failed. So now what the agent is doing is the agent is actually writing new code to say, well, this failed. So it gets in. Now it gets into the portal, but it actually goes to the wrong location. So it can't enter any warranty information. So now it's rewriting code again. And it's saying, actually, hey, we got in, but we couldn't file a claim in any way. And so now it's writing code to say, okay, you're able to get in, but you went to the wrong location inside of that portal. So now it's writing the code. It has different testing, direct testing that it writes. And what you'll end up seeing is, this is the data that was entered for the warranty claim. So there's 28 different fields, and it'll actually match out to say, we have the right fields. So this is real time, like you're watching the agent and what it's doing in the background. So now it gets in, it gets to the right spot, but it's like, okay, what is all the data that's needed for this manufacturer? Right? So it's actually looking at that form and saying, these are the required information for that manufacturer. And we're dealing with drop downs, different product lines have different data. So now it's taking a screenshot of that and saying, okay, this is the data that it needs. Now it's putting that into its model and saying, do we have all that information on this warranty claim that's actually needed to go file this claim? So now it's writing its own code, it's logging in, and you will see it's entering all the data from the contractor's warranty claim. And that's not a human, that's an AI agent that's going and doing that. And it just successfully filed the claim, and now it remembers it, and that path is saved. And the next time you go run that process all happens real time in a matter of seconds. If any of you are interested in learning more, just have a conversation with us about what this could look like. If you're a manufacturer, how can we get you better visibility, better data around effective rates, how we can help you and your company remove manual labor, make an impact on your P&L, and ultimately transform and build a connected supply chain. Go ahead, you could just scan that QR code. It'll take you to a landing page. You can fill out your contact information. We'd be happy to have a conversation with you.